Hello everyone, Kubo here today, and I just wanted to share my thoughts about the Modern Warfare 2 experience now that we've had access to the full game for a bit now. Before I get into my thoughts and opinions, I just wanted to know how all of you have been feeling about the game so far. Please go ahead and just let me know what your thoughts are thus far, either from experience you've had in-game or by watching someone else's gameplay. Well, to start things off, I just wanted to say that I don't hate this game, but I do feel that there are a lot of things that need to be fixed and addressed to make this game a fantastic entry in the Call of Duty franchise. At first, I was telling myself I would give them a little bit of leeway given how recently the game launched. After the past 3 plays of daying, however, I don't think that that'll be doing a service to anyone. It's not fair to the community who is playing the game, and at the same time, it's not good for Activision or Infinity Ward as it enables the cycle to continue, where we get a buggy and unfinished game that had a multi-year development cycle. Now, not addressing these issues would honestly be like enabling the publisher and the studios, which is not something we should do given the state Call of Duty's in now. So, first things first, I've already logged a lot of hours into the game, and I mean like an ungodly amount of hours given how recently the full game launched. Presently, I have 33 hours logged in game, but during the early access campaign, I only logged about 6 hours. The majority of the hours that I've spent in game have mostly been in multiplayer, with maybe 1 or 2 hours spent in Spec Ops with my friends. Following the first night that the game was available to play, I've been approaching the game with more of an objective mentality, trying to analyze what I can about the game to give it a fair and honest review about what it's been like from a casual perspective. I had great optimism when the game fully did launch, but since then, it's kind of dwindled a little bit, and I'm concerned both for the future of this title as well as the franchise. So, let's see. To start things off, there is a major issue that people have been reporting. This is actually one that I found out about recently. There's an issue with the anti-cheat, and it's caused a lot of people to be unjustly suspended, or even worse, they've been getting their accounts banned. It's pretty known. It's pretty well known that there's a huge issue with people cheating both in Warzone and multiplayer. Hence why they created the Ricochet anti-cheat. Given that context, there are some major issues that need to be addressed with that anti-cheat. It launched in Warzone initially, but unfortunately, the software's kernel code was already broken before it was rolled out into matchmaking. And that gave people using the cheats and cheat manufacturers the ability to create new clients that bypassed and got around Activision's countermeasure. Since then, they've only gotten more creative, and cheats and hacks have become a little bit more difficult to detect. And the way that they've gone about punishing those who are using these third-party softwares is deplorable, given that they simply account ban, and the people who are using these clients only really need to create a new account to continue to ruin the other people's experiences in game. It's possible that we're kind of at the point of no return in this regard, though. And it's very unfortunate because if anyone remembers the Modern Warfare 2 live event, even Activision released a statement that they're aware that some of their high-profile streamers are using these cheats as well. Another thing that they need to fix are the bugs in the game, as they're kind of affecting the overall experience that I've been having, as well as my friends. So, biggest issue there is that the game does crash randomly and unpredictably. Now, given that I'm a little bit older and I don't really care too much for my stats, I don't really care too much to be like a super competitive player. I enjoy the game and just gaming in general for the social aspect. And now on the first day of the game, I didn't have these issues. I personally don't recall crashing on the first night that the game was out, but on the second day, I definitely joined in on the experience that my friends were having because night one, my friends crashed. I basically every other game, so I would honestly just restart just so that way we're on the same instance, and they're not trying to join me on an older instance than a newer instance launching the game. In the past with Call of Duty, that has caused issues with us being able to connect to each other, so that's definitely a big bug that they need to fix. And then when I started having the issues, it only made things worse. I was finally able to join my friends in their suffering, and I took part in that frustration. Now, there is another game that I've had this issue with quite heavily, and that's Rogue Company. But the big difference between that experience with Rogue Company and Modern Warfare 2 is that Rogue Company is a free game. All of the money that I spent on Rogue Company was of my own volition on cosmetics that I wanted after getting the game without paying a dime for it. So I can look past it. But Modern Warfare 2 isn't a free game, just trying to get the base game, $70, and if you wanted the Vault Edition, it was about $100. So I find that very unacceptable given that it's a AAA title. Now, personally, one of the biggest gripes that I have with the game is cutting content post-launch and having a different experience, depending on what platform you're playing on. So these are kind of like lesser issues that I have that I felt needed to be addressed. I do feel that they're still important to mention, though. So in terms of cut content post-launch, there's only one real thing that I picked up on, but it was kind of a neat little addition to the game that I'm not sure why they removed in the first place. So the thing that I'm talking about here is the weapon attachment tuning. This is definitely something unique to this game and was more than a welcome feature. I absolutely love the weapon tuning system. So if you haven't had the chance to tune your weapon attachments, or you're not entirely certain what it is, or if you unlock the ability to quote unquote tune your weapons after they remove this feature, let me explain it a little bit for you. So when you got a weapon to max level, you have the ability to access weapon attachment tuning, and the way that it works is it gives you the ability to customize some selected attributes of that attachment. That could be anything from increasing your ADS strafe speed to your actual just ADS speed, damage range, ADS stability, etc. Gave you a lot of customization specific to those attachments. Honestly, it was a fantastic feature, and I was super excited to play with it. And I finally got it unlocked for the M4, I think, on the second day. And then they took away weapon tuning. They took weapon tuning out of the game, and it was terribly unfortunate because there was one M4 that I'd built where I did have my weapons attachments tuned. And now that they've removed the feature, I can't touch that M4 at all, or else I won't be able to tune the attachments and get it back to where I liked it. So because of that, I've been playing around with different M4 builds. I kind of want them to bring that back because it was a very welcome feature. The other thing that I think is unfortunate is they remove the ability to toggle crossplay on and off between Xbox and PC. It's still available on PlayStation. It's a platform exclusive experience for PlayStation. So it's a minor difference in game design for PC and Xbox compared to PlayStation, but it is something that is very important and needs to be addressed because, it gives PlayStation the ability to play against PlayStation only, whereas PC and Xbox have to play against all three platforms. And now, I think that the people who are going to suffer the most from this little game design change is going to be the people that are playing on Xbox. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of legitimate players on PC, and I'm not saying this to take any shots at them, but this does take away kind of that little bit of protection that Xbox players should have as well. Because it's not anything game specific. Because I remember, what was it, in Black Ops 4, they had an exclusive, or was it Cold War? They had an exclusive game mode that was specific to PlayStation. This one is the entirety of matchmaking as a whole. Because if people on PlayStation don't even want to take the risk of running into someone who's using wall hacks or aimbot, they can just turn off their own crossplay and then only play with PlayStation. So, as I mentioned earlier on, people I think on Xbox are going to suffer the most because they don't have the ability to easily toggle on or toggle off crossplay in game. They have to go into some convoluted settings in their Xbox to potentially turn off crossplay. On top of that too, people on Xbox do not have access to the same clients that people on PC have access to. So Xbox is really where it's going to suffer the most. So These are just kind of some of the thoughts that I gathered, a little off the cuff, just some thoughts and some feedback that I have on the game thus far for, the first 3 days of it being out. And I really want to know how you all feel about what I brought up here in this video. And let me know what you think down in the comments below, and tell me a little bit about the experience you've been having playing this game. Now, there are some other points that I do want to talk about, but I feel they've already been talked about enough. Primarily those ones are going to be inconsistencies in gunfights, as well as the time to kill. Another thing is going to be map design, because a lot of the maps are kind of tragic. On top of that too, servers, I've seen servers and I've played in servers that have become a little bit unstable, causing the game to stutter and lag. And it's kind of a jarring experience, but like I said, a lot of people I know have been complaining about the same issues, so I don't feel that is something that I really needed to address here in this video, as it's kind of well known within the community and the people playing the game. But anyways, let me know again what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will talk to you all later. And then, yeah, I had a 1v5 choke for S&D. I just threw it at the end of the video there for you. So, yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you all later.
Okay, metal railing is bulletproof. Just a little PSA.
I got my yeet hole.
I'm going B from bottom, our side.
Got him.
Another one along here somewhere.
I went in the field.
Enemies taking Bravo. We're losing Alpha. Only you remain. Finish the mission. Standing by.
Oh, I almost did it to him!
Wait.
But that was still a fucking nasty clip, dude.